Oh,
Recording is in progress. Happy Friday.
and it is October already. I cannot believe it.
Oh, I know. This is probably the best time of the year. The best month of the year because it's my birthday month. Just had to put that out there.
Oh, yay. Which day?
Well, it's the night before Halloween.
Ooh, well,
Yeah. So, I mean, it used to be quite powerful and we used to go to parties and play around, but now it's just Halloween's taken over. It's like crazy.
okay.
So yeah, alphabet game, here we are. And as we are sharing out, if you're live here, just say good day, where you're from, put it in the chat and connect with us here. Like, what is a V word that you want to explore a little more? And
Yeah. Well, let's do a quick little intro, huh?
you go,
Hey,
girl.
what you say?
You go first.
I'll go first. I am Dr. Brenda. I'm a sociologist, speaker, financial coach, full-time RVer. I always said travel in the US with my 3 cats. It's 2 cats. And I'm kind of stationary at the moment in Southern California.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Take it away. And coming through, my name is Janine McJanet. For those of you who don't know, I'm a therapist with Rapid Transformational Therapy, hypnotherapist, and I am an empowerment and play coach. And I love helping women bust through crazy people-pleasing patterns so that they can live more playfully. That's it in a nutshell. And here we are. We've had this beautiful time together in, hey, are we going gallery live? I'm just seeing whatchamacallit, speaker live on mine.
I don't know. I did not change anything. I did not change a thing. I hate that.
Yeah, isn't that
Okay,
funny?
now what do we got? Is it changed on the feed? There we go. Okay, we're good now. Huh. I
Okay.
hate that. I didn't press a thing. I didn't change a thing. Come
Yeah.
on, Zoom. Stop
This is
messing with
technology.
me.
This is when it gets very, very, very complicated, right? Because it's like, so V is today, and I'm excited about it. And I'm also sad. There's a part of me that's a little sad because V is getting close to Z, or Z, as you might say, and that means that this whole year of the alphabet game is going to come to its beautiful end. But there will be some exciting things beyond that.
You know what? Speaking of that, I'm a little bit concerned because X is coming up, and I'm like, maybe we should make X a free day.
Oh, why don't you like X-ray or a xylophone?
No, this conversation is 2 minutes long. So maybe we could throw it out to people listening, like just give us a word.
Yeah.
Free word. We can pick our own words for the day. X is surprise day. How's that? I mean, I just came up with that because I'm a planner and I don't like X.
I know, but sometimes we have to do hard things. And we're committed. We're committed to
the you have to be a rule person now. Oh,
the regulator.
Man, rules.
Look at us. What?
That's the downside. Like, I'm in this resort now, and now there's rules, and it's like, what do we have that rule for? That's just dumb. Did that start in like 1975? Because it doesn't make sense anymore. So now we're going to my rules thing. Like, I know we need them, but I don't think I want them for X.
We only need them when we want them. Right?
Yeah, we need them for other people. It's those other people we have to have the rules for.
And it's the same for so many different things in life. We only need it when we want it, or we take advantage of it, or push it aside. And what comes to mind, and I don't know how this is going to end up, but when somebody that is dying or sick, or they need God, and many of us grew up like praying. My mom had a prayer. I wasn't raised Catholic, but I went to a Catholic school, and how that rule of somebody else bigger, the bigger source, the higher source, how can you help me? It's when we have those vulnerable moments, right?
Oh, there
Oh,
you
God.
go. That was really clever. You snuck that right up there. I wasn't
It
expecting
totally
it.
did. We have those vulnerable moments where we're just feeling that we need something more than what we've got. And we have to reach out. We have to reach out to either ourselves and be really freaking honest with ourselves, or to other people, and let a bit of our soul spill out. So yeah. What's your vision for today, darling?
Ooh, vision, value and
Mhm.
values.
Oh, and I've got a third one, because honestly, like, seriously, we are
You
so connected in this one. Valued. There's
val-
three different meanings right there. Value.
valuable.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can go all day on value.
Everything. So you go there. Go on value.
It's interesting because I'm working on the workbook. So I shared that with you and I listed 14 different values. And I asked folks to like, okay, circle which
Saw
ones are
that.
the most important to, and then create a priority pyramid. Like what's critical on there? Like, family, community, love, nature, adventure, and
Freedom.
create this sort of pyramid with it. And it's interesting because there's that concept of value. And then as a financial coach, there's a completely different concept of value. Are you getting value for your investment, for your money?
Mhm.
What's the value of your job? Am I getting paid what I am worth? So it's like,
And
really two very different uh, pieces of value. Now, what I do is I advise folks on like, prioritize your funds according to your values. So, my value, I don't value going out to eat. That's just not a big thing for me. But I value if I go on a hot air balloon ride, I go kayaking. Those are things I highly value.
yeah.
So it fits in, it's aligned there. So that's how the finances fits in with the value system for me.
Yeah. And I
Wow.
love that. Yeah. Because the same with values, there's a whole glob of them out there. And you know what I'm going to do for you guys? I'm going to drop in a link of 100 different values. So you can just look at them and start to get clear on what your values are. Because for you in the finance world, values come a little differently than for somebody who's looking at their values in their family or in their relationships.
Hey, Janine, do you have those value cards?
I do. They're upstairs.
You
So
go get
hold
them.
on. Yeah, hold on. Keep it
So,
going.
okay. So Janine was in Vancouver. So I'm gonna share that. She spent the week in Vancouver, took her family. Kids went to this incredible concert from what I hear. So I think she just got back yesterday. Vacation in Vancouver. I just dropped 2 V words while we wait for Janine to get the value cards. She showed these things to me a while back, and it's pretty neat. So I really wanted you to see those. I've learned that there are different card decks, and I actually use another card deck in some of the work that I do. Hey, listen, I got Vancouver and vacation all in there while you were gone. You'd be so proud of me.
That was kind of like my thing. My value cards, which I'll put a link to, are at my other place at the cabin.
No.
But it's okay because we can talk about, what our values are and how we can play with them. So I just did a run up the stairs
Yeah,
here.
take a deep breath.
I'm going to just vent in and vent out. Got to get the V in. But yes, living your values in terms of relationships and prioritizing your values. There's an assessment that you can do online too. Find out what your values are. Get them
Okay,
all down.
so what are your top 3 values, Janine?
My top 3, and they change. But number one, the top 3 is freedom, play, and family. And there's a lot in there. And so figure out, this is my challenge for you. Look at the list of values I'm going to plop in, or go online and just say, what are values? What are personal values or financial values or whatever? choose your top 3, and then how can you create a vision that encapsulates daily integrating those values into what you do, and if you're not, where are you putting your time or energy to? And it always comes down to people pleasing. Are you giving it to someone else? I've got some wild energy going on here. Vibes are high today. Are you giving it to someone else? And if you are, how can you flip that around a little bit and start giving to yourself? Because when you give to yourself, the old oxygen mask scenario, when you give to yourself, you're able to give to more others. So others more, something like that. Yeah.
Well, I was doing some homework last night. I'm becoming a climate steward here in California, and there's homework. And last night I was reading about cognitive dissonance. Okay. And that's actually a very good thing to bring up here, because we value certain things, but then something in our brain says, oh, you know what? It doesn't really apply to me, or let's not do this today. I mean, like health, right? Health is a big one. We value health, but then we go out and, have a giant meal. We drink a lot. We do all kinds of stuff that negates our health. So it's really interesting, because I find that financially too, like, okay, well, I value this, but then trying to get that alignment is much more difficult. Are you like, you're in the spotlight now?
I just had to turn the light on. Sorry for interrupting you. It's true. We actually violate our own rights in that sense, right? By not giving to ourselves or taking what we need. And congratulations on the climate change steward homework. You're perfect for it, because you've traveled the country. You've been on vacation everywhere. I got to get the V word in there as well. And you've got this sort of vast knowledge about what the climate, what the environment is like, what, and why did you settle down there, and what made this sort of vacation spot somewhere where you wanted to call home?
Well, it's interesting too, for me, I mean, vulnerability, we go back to vulnerability
Always.
because I think everybody on the planet feels vulnerable to global warming and climate change. And I mean, so last night we had to find some statistics, and the percentage of people who worry about global warming, it's like 77%. And in certain counties, it's greater or less than others, but we feel very powerless. And this, by becoming a climate steward, I'm learning how to speak the language. I'm learning how to reframe the issue so that, it's not this or this. We find the connection points. And I learn. So it's very valuable experience, and it aligns with my vision to make the earth, make the world a little bit better. In fact, I'm going to be like creating a eco-fin hub on my new program that starts in the new year, for people who want to build their finances, but also sustain the earth. So it's my value system. My values are just pouring out right now into my business and into my life. Because it's like, you know what? I've got a birthday coming up. I'll turn 60, and it's like, go for it, just go for it. There's no looking back. We're looking forward.
And this is a woman you're in your passion, which is why you're riding along with your values, and it feels so good. And you're also showing us a lot of versatility in what you're doing. Like you're being able to shift the switch at any time to move towards your values, because values do change, or the reasons or the whys behind our values change depending on our life experiences. So I think that's great.
So Janine, we are on one big voyage.
A voyage. We are. And it starts right from the minute and something before
So
of
how do you like,
action.
I'm working on, that workbook is just like, ooh, my brain is on fire right now. And I talk about destination. So like you're on a voyage, I'm on a voyage. Do you know what the destination is?
There's a song in Australia.
Oh, this
It's
is a good
linked.
segue.
It's linked. It's called Destination Unknown,
Uh-huh.
right? Because we're moving all the time, every places, and that just came up. The destination for me, my destination, um, my overall desire in my life is to be happy, is to be joyful, is to be playful, is to have fun, is to laugh, to feel good, to give and take love, to build, to be in good relationships. So it's very heart-centered and soul-centered around what my voyage is about. But underneath all of that, there's this, I've got the 4 L's. I know we're on V, but it's live, love, laugh, and learn. So integrating all of those components makes my voyage happy. And we've heard it's not the destination, it's the journey. And so, yeah, that's what it means. Like in terms of being really visionary about the whole thing. It's changed. It's
Yeah,
changed.
yeah. It's I one of the activities I have in my workbook was it's a little chart. You have your highlights and your lowlights, and this has to do with finances, with things that were really great financially, things that were not. But the whole exercise is to kind of see our lives, our financial lives, our family lives, our personal lives as a voyage. Because when you begin, we have short memory spans. So we just think about, okay, well, last year I got this happened and that's it. But when you go back and you look at the lifespan and you look at this voyage we're on, I believe we see resilience. We begin to see that, you know what? Yeah, it's not a straight line. It's never been a straight line. It's been ups and downs, and I'm where I am today partly because of those lowlights, you
Mhm.
know?
The
But to
hard
get
things.
the bigger picture, and that's the value of aging.
Yeah.
I thought I knew everything when I was 25. And then of course I did know everything when I was 35. And then when I'm 45, I'm like, I don't know shit.
It's the beauty. It's the
Thing.
beauty of aging. But not all people who grow old have have taken the choice, have chosen to live with wisdom and to learn by mistakes. And there's a lot of people still fighting, still resisting. And resilience isn't even in the vocabulary because we sometimes are stuck in this block saying, this is who I am, this is what I do. How do we get out of that? We have to get out of it, like you said, by doing hard things, by taking risks, by doing things that make us uncomfortable. Otherwise, we're not going to evolve. We're not going to grow. So how can we do that? How can we just, as we grow older, because I'm 60's around the corner for me too. Woo-hoo, 58 this year. But I mean, it feels good. We have our childhood brain and mind and soul still in our body. It doesn't just go. We just don't every year change into a new person. So it's a compilation of all these really vital components in us. And when we learn to connect with them all, I think that's where the passion, that's where the vision, that's where it all, that's the joy of life, is just like, hey, I'm on this journey and my destination is to really be in love with myself. It may seem weird to other people, but if we don't accept ourselves for who we are, there's always going to be resistance. So it's just taking those jumps, those risks, and learning that resilience is so powerful. And that's like the roots of growth.
That's interesting because so I'm in this resort. It's a 55 plus community. So I'm on the younger side. I'm young here, which is great. But it's like, I'm the newcomer. And so I'm walking down, I'm going to the pool. Hey, Brenda, how you doing? Hey, Brenda, how's it going? And I was like, hiya, hi. And it's like, there are all these new people. I just can't connect the names with the faces, but they all know me by name. And it's like, oh my God, I'm part of this community. It's just
Yeah.
wild. And I went out with 5 women last weekend, and we started having this conversation. Yeah, and my hair, I need a haircut, so it's hat day. And we had this conversation about like I mean, we're all RVers. This is an RV resort, so. And by the way, they're afraid the single women are taking over because our numbers have just jumped way up. It's kind of funny.
Hold on to your partners.
Yeah, boy. And we were talking about like sort of the isolation of the road and how lonely it can get sometimes and traveling alone. And I said, you know what? For the most part, I prefer my company to almost anybody else's.
Mhm.
And it took me a long time to get comfortable with who I am and to go to bed with a smile on my face. And I've spent the whole day by myself. Well, I got the cats, the cats are cool. But it is a process to learn to love yourself, to value yourself, to value your vision,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I have, been learning more and more. And that's it. I believe it ties into that people pleasing, because if you are a people pleaser, you're neglecting yourself. There's something in yourself that you're not allowing yourself to be, and you have to ask why. Now you're the expert in that.
Yeah. Well, you can ask yourself why until you go blue in the face, and you can blame it on your childhood, which I've been known to do for sure. But what's really important, if you have patterns that you don't like, be it people pleasing, be it perfectionism, be it whatever those patterns are, some sort of self-sabotaging behavior, if you can recognize those patterns and say, hey, I don't like this, that's the first aha moment. It's like you can change it, because all of this behavior, people pleasing and more, is tied to how we were brought up, is tied to our childhood, is tied to our core beliefs, right? And our values are very much tied to our core beliefs, but our beliefs are something that we inherited from whomever we were around when we grew up, be it our parents, our siblings, our school, teachers, friends, in-laws, aunts and uncles, whoever it is. We created these beliefs to keep us safe, to keep us secure, and to keep us protected, to feel that we are worthy. So what happens is we get older, we start to please people. I mean, we do that right from the beginning. I wonder how mommy and daddy is going to act. I'm scared of them. I'm going to do something that's going to please them so that I can be safe. But then we take that characteristic, that virtue, because it is a virtue there, where we are protecting ourselves in all of our vulnerability. And it moves through our 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. And then we're still like trying to seek this approval to feel worthy in society. So you can understand where it comes from. But what's really important with the work that I do with RTT therapy, rapid transformational therapy, and hypnosis, is to be able to get down to the root cause so you can understand the connection between those childhood experiences and how you're behaving now. When you can understand that and express it, you start to lighten the load and you start to be freer, right? And those two values, just freedom and values in and of itself, are what makes life more joyful when we're not living in the past. We're not like heavy under this burden of who we think we are or what we think we believe. Biggest secret ever is that we can change our beliefs. Woohoo, that was like, what? No, my beliefs. No, you can change them. And if you don't like them, that's the first sign that you're on your way to changing and transforming them. So yeah, it is understanding where we've come from and how we can transform that out. And there's a vast world of beliefs. There's so many beliefs out there. So again, I like to challenge you guys. What are your beliefs that are holding you back? What are your limiting beliefs? Whether it's in relationships, in finance, whether it's in work, whether it's in your own spirituality. What are the beliefs that are holding you back? And how can you change them?
So you asked me a question on Messenger last week, and then I saw your post. And the word that comes to mind is volatile. So the question you asked me is what did I think it meant to walk on eggshells?
Mm-hmm.
and then you had a post about it. And when I told you what I thought about like walking on eggshells, and kind of used the example of my mom, and because my dad was a little bit volatile, usually quiet and or grumpy, and you didn't know what response you would get. So when I think of walking on eggshells, it's like, well, you're constantly on the alert because you don't know how that other person is going to react. So you try to hide and slink
Right.
down and try to be safe. And then I saw your post, and I wonder if you could tell us what you think about when you say walking on eggshells. Because to me, it's like volatility, that unpredictability.
Yeah. So what you're doing is you're externalizing, right? So what I like to do when we're triggered in any situation, and when you're thinking, oh, I got to walk on eggshells around you, it's a trigger. It's causing us to react one way. It's enlightening our nervous system, the fight and the flight, and we just want to hide or freeze, right? And just make sure that nothing blows up and becomes volatile. So it is a symptom of, in my opinion, relationship trauma, which is created in most of us when we're young. There's no perfect way of growing up. Not any parent that I know is going to give their children 100% of what they need. And that's okay. That's great, because that's how we learn. But the walking on eggshells is, how can we internalize it? How can we say, what is my role in this? And this comes down to people pleasing. What is my role in feeling that when he or she walks into a room, I feel like, oh, what's going on? What do I have to do? I lived it for decades. I just want to make sure everything is okay. Harmony. Harmony is also one of my top values, right? I just want everyone to be fine. I want this peace. That's my dog barking. I just want this peace, because there's chaos. So it's avoidance. It's avoiding chaos. Shush, dogs, those dogs. So yeah, walking on eggshells, back to the point here is you can internalize it. What is my role in that? And then when you really look deeply, and this is what I've done, because I'm reading a book, I'm doing a summit, hosting a summit, I'm speaking on a summit. This is what I work with my clients on, emotional sobriety. It's just, how can we understand what our emotions are and deal with them, not stuff them down, but express them, not hide from them, but create boundaries, speak our truth, all of those kinds of things. So walking on eggshells,
I
you internalize it.
I
Hey,
set you up so perfectly, didn't I?
yeah, it was a big one, because it's like fresh in my heart. And I know we're going to go over a couple of minutes at least, but it's fresh in my heart. And I love to give solutions. So if you feel that you're walking on eggshells around someone, then ask yourself why. And is there a conversation that needs to happen? Because there's all sorts of people in this world that will take advantage of you if you're a people pleaser. And if you're used to giving, people are going to be used to taking, and then the balance goes off. So what does it look like for you to go, oh, why am I feeling scared? Why am I feeling angry? Why am I feeling resentful? And then it's like, oh, because that person doesn't appreciate me. There's manipulation in relationships that can go so deep. And the more I'm diving into neuroscience in the course that I'm doing as well, a bit of a courseaholic here, I'm understanding the power of the brain and how we want to work together. So finally, back to walking on eggshells. If you feel that you're walking on eggshells, then there's some relationship trauma there. And the relationship trauma can be healed. And it's understanding, again, what the root cause of that belief is, that you have to act a certain way in front of someone to feel safe as an adult. I mean, we do that as a child because we need the protection and the safety. But as an adult, we own our own worth. And honestly, it took me into my 5th decade before I broke free, which is why I'm so passionate about helping others. Like, don't waste your life as a people pleaser, please. It's just nonsense. It's terrible. So that's it. I mean, I've got a blog. I'll put the blog.
Janine, I'm really disappointed because you're just not passionate enough about the subject.
I'm telling you. Well, you got to do what you got to do. And because I've walked on eggshells, because I've said and I've heard, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. Oh, wait till the other shoe drops is another one.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know?
Yeah.
Look
Excellent,
inside.
excellent points.
Mhm.
Valuable information.
Well, I feel quite valiant about the whole thing, actually, because it's vulnerable to speak the truth, especially if your experiences, to express it. And again, my number one takeaway always is express yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm also doing a dance and movement therapy one. I'm just like, move yourself. If you can't get the words out of your mouth or your hand, or if you can't cry it out, start to move. Start to move. And if you're angry, be angry.
It actually feels really good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Just,
doesn't it?
yeah.
X could be for
I feel
X-ray.
vibrant. I feel vibrant.
Vibrant and vivacious, right?
That's a great way to kind of close this out. So tell us what you got coming up that you want people to know about.
I am doing too much. I'm a too much woman right now.
I know you are.
I think you are too. I am preparing a speech for a summit that I'm in. I'm going to be dropping that link. I'm going to be sharing it with you and your crew too, Brenda, Dr. Brenda, and it's Soulful Speakers Summit. And I'm going to be talking about finding that playfulness through people-pleasing resentment, from people-pleasing resentment into a playful, joyful life. It's a short 15 minutes, but it's a great place to be able to learn more and see different speakers and hear their experiences, because that's how we grow. That's one. And I'm creating my own summit because why not? I love talking to people. And that's that is, what is it called now? That is my Woman Empowered and Free Summit. So I am looking for
World Summit.
World Summit. Yeah. I know. Universal Summit. I'm seeking speakers of a high caliber, neuroscientists, psychologists, and doctors in emotional sobriety. So we seek what we need, and what we get, we teach out. So it's kind of like a great cycle. That's a couple things. What about you?
Oh man, I've got my hands full too, but I have returned to something that works best for me, because when I focus on one thing, and I even talk about this in finances, I call it single mission finances, because you get so focused on one thing. It does mean that some other things have to sit by the side. But I mean, it took me, I mean, in the last week, I've finished 2 chapters of my road trip workbook, and I'm really excited about it. So I am going to plow forward, because yes, some other things need to sit, because this is my way to be uber efficient. You know, multitasking, I have to do some of it, but when I'm sitting down and focus, I can get an enormous amount of stuff done. So I'm just going to barrel ahead, get this baby done. I've got a speech here in California, October 21st. It's for a group of nurses, and I'm bringing my financial wellness talk, and I got the best
Had lots on.
I'm so excited about the speech.
Yeah.
And the big thing coming up is I'm launching my first Dream Week. So we're going to spend a whole week together figuring out, what are our dreams, and really making them crystal clear, and getting them set as, this is my vision. This is how I want my life to look. And then, okay, I'm going to get my finances going so I can make this happen. Dream Week, Dream Week, Dream Week. So yeah,
We got a lot going on.
A lot, but I love writing. I love doing this workbook. It's very graphic. You've seen some of it, so it's visually beautiful, and it flows really great. So anyway, that's my thing.
Good.
We'll have links in the description, folks. So thank you so much, and I think we are set to go.
Just before we go, I just want to say, for those watching and those on the replay, if you've got any questions for either of us, you know where to find us. We've each got our groups, and we've got different ways to connect with us. And I wanted to suggest this, which I don't sometimes, is just like, if you think that any of these talks can help your friends, then invite them into the community. Invite them on to, we're both going to be holding these conversations in separate places, and we can drop the links when Z comes around into the package that you want to get, like, and you can watch them. But yeah, if you know anybody that can benefit from this, that can get value from it, then invite them into our worlds, invite them into our groups. We have a vision between Dr. Brenda and myself that we want to share more and more with more and more, right? And as we're growing and as we're learning, we want to be able to help more and more. So the only way we can do that is to have the audience there that is interested and listen. So if you really do connect with this and bring other people into it, next week is in 2 weeks, we're going to ask W to do that, which is going to be amazing.
It's going to be wonderful.
Oh, it's going to be beyond wonderful. It's going to be way cool. But yeah, we'll do that. We'll drop our links for all the things going on. Keep connected with us. And if you have any questions, and if you have any ideas for conversations or topics, let us know, because we can pretty well weave them into our alphabet.
Well, and we're looking for like a new theme for 2024. So if you got any suggestions for us, bring it on. We're open to everything. Thank you so much for joining us.
Wait, one thing. I know I always say one thing, but we typically end this with just a little statement of how we can sum up and give a little bit of our own wisdom. So I'll let you go ahead first.
You got to have a vision. Life without a vision is life without a dream, is life without fulfillment. Have a vision.
Mm-hmm. And for mine, it's like, understand what is of value to you and how you are of value to yourself and to others, because you are worthy. That's it. Okay.
Excellent.
Have a beautiful day, beautiful weekend, and we'll catch you around next time.
All right. So
the Alphabet Game. Ciao.